Thread from Carlos Oswita. Check out The Atlantic's Amanda Mull while she tries to blame Republicans for the disaster that Democrats in Washington created. I want to thank The Atlantic for putting me on their mailing list without my knowledge. Keep these articles coming. They allow me to show leftists as the murderous, unrepentant, partisan maniacs they are. Most of Amanda Mull's piece is just the usual leftist fake empathy for blue-collar Americans. Here's the crux of the matter. Quote, Lee has been without an income for 6 weeks. He's heard that at least another 6 will pass before he's able to access any of the federal relief funds that have been promised for small businesses like his. End quote. Donald Trump warned that exactly this would happen. The states have ancient computer systems that can't handle the regular government business. Congressional Republicans wanted the federal government to handle unemployment and federal relief. Pelosi refused. Remember that the Democrats keep holding up relief. One of the key issues that held up the first phase was that Pelosi insisted that the states and their ancient computer systems, some of which are 40 years old, handle relief for small businesses. The Democrats wouldn't budge, so the Republicans were forced to give in. This is what happens when voters elect a party that says in plain language, vote for me and I'll destroy you. And the Democrats really did their best this time. You've seen that Democrat governors are expanding their powers and stuffing more of our money into the pockets of illegal aliens, people who are now at the front of the line. They get things that American citizens don't get. We just pay for it. What happened this time was that the Democrats put American citizens in a bind. Go back to work and potentially increase the number of COVID-19 cases so that Trump can be blamed. Or stay home and end up on welfare as businesses close forever. Either way, Democrats win. But Amanda Mull and Nancy Pelosi don't understand why Trump won in 2016. They've hypnotized themselves into thinking that the 2016 election was like the election of Gwyneth Paltrow, mayor of Rabbit Hash, Kentucky. The Atlantic's 1984 level propaganda is designed for upper-class mental patients who were never going to vote for Trump anyway. In other words, it's totally ineffective. Amanda Mull's laughable attack on Republicans is on the same level as the Nazis broadcasting invective at Americans in German. That would have made Germans happy, but Americans would have said, huh? Is that a weather report? As we go forward, you need to remember that the Democrats and the press did everything they could to sabotage the effort to fight the pandemic. How insane are Trump haters? This insane. From National Review, woman who blamed Trump after giving her husband fish tank cleaner now under investigation for murder. The wife hates Trump, and she has a record of domestic violence against her husband. The press reported that she said, "Don't believe anything Trump says. He told us this drug was safe, and now my husband is dead." Why would an insane Trump hater suddenly drop her hatred and believe him? Obviously she didn't. And Trump didn't say that hydroxychloroquine would prevent a person from developing COVID-19. A Trump hater fed her husband a lethal dose of fish tank cleaner and drank a non-lethal dose herself and then claimed that Trump told them it would prevent them from getting COVID-19. And the press ran with it. Now, Amanda Mull of The Atlantic is blaming Republicans for the Morton's fork that the Democrats created in Georgia. Whatever happens, the Democrats think they'll benefit. And either choice Georgians make is potentially life-threatening. But again, journalists didn't even hear what Trump and the CDC repeated multiple times. Even conservative pundits didn't hear it. This is a phased reopening with instant medical intervention. Trump tricked Pelosi into providing 4 times as much funding as he asked for. The CDC, therefore, has the quick reaction teams who can respond the same day that a problem is detected. Regular Army medical units were deployed in the U.S. for the first time in our history. Trump's declaration of a national emergency gives him virtually unlimited power, but he's using it very sparingly. We now have quick reaction teams all over the country. They've comprised of CDC, Homeland Security, and military personnel. The Atlantic and Nancy Pelosi have no real idea how anything works, so the catastrophe that Pelosi and the press engineered won't happen. But this is the reason leftists are accusing Trump of mass murder. It's to deflect from the real attempt to cause mass murder. People show their true selves in a crisis. Let me tell you that this isn't something I say casually. I hate Democrats. Not the voters, the party leaders, and the press. I never hated them before. Now I do, because they tried their best to murder you. This is exactly what the Iranian mullahs, Hezbollah, Hamas, Al-Qaeda, and the Yemeni Houthis do. They murder their own people to blame others. I survived a murder attempt by my boss. He staged an armed robbery so that he could make an insurance claim on piles of junk that I loaded into a truck. The plan failed because the gunman was an amateur who chose a weapon that always jams. I saved my boss's ass, and he repaid me by trying to murder me for personal gain. Later, he hired an ex-con who beat him almost to death. It's the old adage, predators will eventually choose the wrong victim. The Democrats and the press finally chose the wrong victim.